So what's my top 10 bottled and bond whiskeys for under $30? What's up? I'm IAMOBG. With the holidays coming and not a lot of money to go around, well, I've made my top 10 list of the bottled and bond whiskeys that you should try. Now, they're all under 30, and actually there's just one bottle that is at $30. All of them are $25 or below, and they are just amazing values. But before we get into my top 10 list, what does bottled and bond actually mean? It means that it cannot be distilled at more than 160 proof or 80 ABV. It has to be aged in new American oak for a minimum of 4 years. The barrel entry cannot be more than 125 proof or 62.5 ABV. It has to be a minimum of 51% corn for bourbon or 51% rye for rye whiskey. And it has to be bottled at 100 proof or 50 ABV. So every time you see bottled and bond, that's what it means. They have to follow those guidelines. But where did bottled and bond actually come about? Well, the government passed a law in 1897 for bottled and bond. And the reason for that is that a lot of people were taking moonshine and flavoring it and declaring it whiskey. So at the time, they put all of those things in place, but at the same time, they invented a bonded warehouse, meaning distillers could age the whiskey for 4 years and not pay taxes on it until they would actually bottle it, hence the term bottled in bond. They have paid the tax on it. Now let's jump into my top 10 bottled in bond, and we're gonna start with number 10. JTS Brown Bottled in Bond. This brand is owned by Heaven Hill Distillery, and the mash bill on here is 78% corn, 12% rye, 10% malted barley, aged for 4 years in new American oak that has been charred at a level 3. It's bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $15. Now you can actually find this at $10, which is just insane to me. $15 for 4-year-old 100 proof here. How can you beat that? Again, Heaven Hill is always the king of the bottom shelf here, without a doubt. They crank out some amazing juice, and you'll see as we cover this whole lineup here, they really dominate this market share. This is always an amazing whiskey for the money. Number 9, J.W. Dant Bottled in Bond, owned by Heaven Hill. Once again, this has the same mash bill of 78% corn, 12% rye, and 10% malted barley, aged for 4 years in new American oak that has been charred at level 3, bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $15. Heaven Hill bought this brand in 1993, and a lot of people wonder, like, these are basically the same mash and the same price point. Why would they have two of those brands? Well, as you may know, and if you do live in a control state, people have their brands in those control states, and eventually people stick to that brand. So you might go to one state where they have the JTW and the other one has the Dant. So that is why there is two of them, and they're specifically priced at the same price point. That is just market share, as we call it. And this is, again, just a real steal for the money. At number 8, Mel Corn Bottled in Bond Straight Corn Whiskey. Once again, owned by Heaven Hill. This mash bill is 80% corn, 8% rye, 12% malted barley, aged for 4 years in new American oak that has been charred at level 3, and then bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $12. This is straight up corn whiskey. Now, this is just a classic $12, 4-year-old, 80% corn. Like, you can't really beat this. This is just a steal. This is something that you can mix drinks with, or if you're completely having a good time during the holidays, to do stupid shots with friends and family. That's what this is good for. It's always a lot of fun. And for $12, like, I can't tell you, like, the quality that's in here. It's just insane to me. 4-year-old, 100 proof, $12. How are they making money? That doesn't make any sense. Number 7, Old Overholt Bottled in Bond Rye. This is owned by Beam Suntory. There is no mash bill information on here, but we can assume that it's at least 51% rye. It's been aged in new American oak for 4 years and then bottled at a proof of 100 or an ABV of 50. And this retails for $25. Now, I've reviewed this brand before. This is just a classic. If you're trying to understand what a shot in a beer is, This is what this is good for. Yes, you can make some cocktails with it. It's decent, but this is just an old-timer classic brand. I mean, it goes way, way back. It's just great. And remember, this is in liters for $25. Number 6, Jim Beam Bottled & Bond Bourbon. This is owned by, of course, Beam Suntory, and the mash bill on here is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley, as this enters a new American oak cask that has been charred at level 4. The proof of the entry is 125. It's aged for 4 years, and the proof is 100 or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $20. Now, this is just a really good buy. I mean, again, 4-year-old, 100 proof, Jim Beam. It's pretty high in corn, 78%. If you would drink the black label, well, you would be in an 8-year-old whiskey, and that would be costing you almost $40. But if you're drinking the white label, well, that is at 86 proof, and guess what? It's the same price as the Bottled & Bond. So why drink the white label? It's the same exact thing. I mean, yeah, you could spend a little bit more and have the black label, but this Bottled & Bond is just great for the money. 20 bucks here, can't beat that. Number 5, Rittenhouse Bottled & Bond Rye. Once again, owned by Heaven Hill Distillery. This mash bill is 51% rye, 35% corn, 14% malted barley, aged in new American oak that has been charred at level 3, but we don't know the entry level, but I'm thinking this must be at 125 proof. It's then bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $25. Now, this is one of the best Bottled & Bond rye that you can find for the money. I mean, Rittenhouse is a classic. You can make some really good cocktails with this. It's not super complicated. You can find it anywhere. I've reviewed this in the past. I'll put a link to it. It's just bang for the buck. It's just really solid. Number 4, Early Times Bottled & Bond. This is made by Brown-Forman, aka Jack Daniel. The mash bill on here is 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. This enters, once again, a new American oak cask that is charred at an unknown level, but I'm pretty sure that it's level 4. And this is bottled at a proof of 100 or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $30. That is for a full liter, $30. I think there's some out there in 750s. I haven't seen it. I have reviewed Early Times before. They do a blended whiskey that's interesting. I'll put a link below to it if you want to go and see it. This is just, again, a really big bang for the buck. This is Brown-Forman. It's giving you an insight on what they're doing when it comes to Bottled & Bond. This is a super competitive market share, and this is just really good for the money. Number 3, Ulta Bottled & Bond. Owned and made by Jim Beam, aka Beam Suntory. This mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. This, you guessed it, is aged in new American oak that has been charred at level 4. The entry of the barrel is 125 proof, and it's been aged for, of course, 4 years. And then bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $25. This is an unchilled filtered bourbon here. I've covered this whiskey before. This is by far one of my favorites out there. I mean, you're getting beam juice, 100 proof, 4-year-old. This old tub usually just flies off the shelf. If you see it, you should try to buy as much as you can for 25 bucks. It's a real steal. It's really good when I'm working at night, just trying to have a little drink. This is a really good late night drink. Like, it's kind of hard to beat. I'm a big fan of that brand. I've reviewed it before, and you should go and check it out. Number 2, Old Grandad Bottled & Bond. This is made by Jim Beam. Now, this mash bill is 63% corn, 27% rye, and 10% malted barley. That enters a new American oak cask that has been charred at level 4, but there's no entry barrel level. I'm pretty sure that it's at 125. It's aged for 4 years and bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50, and this retails for $25. This is an interesting one, and usually a big crowd favorite. Everybody that I know in the industry, just this is their brand. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm thinking 63% corn, 27% rye. It's 2/3, 1/3, which I think is the magical note here. This is a real steal. You can't go wrong with that bottle. This is just a really good bang for the buck. Again, you won't feel bad dropping 25 bucks on that. And at our number 1, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. This is made at Heaven Hill, and this is my favorite Bottled and Bond whiskey of all time. The mash bill on here is 78% corn, 10% rye, and 12% malted barley that enters a barrel at 125 proof that has been charred at a level 3 and then bottled at 100 proof or an ABV of 50. And this retails for $15. You really can't go wrong with this. This, I think, is the whiskey of the year every year. 15 bucks. Evan Hill, Evan Williams, Bottled and Bond, 4-year-old. This is so damn good. Every time I have it, I'm just baffled by the quality that is in this bottle. It's just a steal, and it's always gonna be on the shelf. I don't understand how Evan Hill controls most of this market, and there's not a bigger fight out there to try to control it. And I'm surprised that people buy the 86 proof or the 80 proofs of all these brands. I mean, it's just weird to me and bizarre, but you can tell, like, there's only, what, 4 players in the market? Beam, Heaven Hill, Brown-Forman, like, it's weird to me. These whiskeys are some of the best bourbons or ryes that you can buy on the market, especially for the money. Yes, there was one at $30 for early times, but it's a liter. Other than that, it's just crazy to me. Stop drinking all that 80 and 86 shit proof. Like, come on, baby. Just buy Bottled and Bond. It's just worth every penny. I'm telling you, don't waste your time. All right, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'm OBG for tastingskills.com. Please remember to give it a thumbs up, go down there, give it a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell so you can get the notifications. Otherwise, my friend, please remember, stay sober. I will catch you in the next one, and peace.